When Orville and Wilbur Wright first took to the air in 1903, it's unlikely they could have imagined where their invention would one day lead. Already in the First World War, airplanes had been developed to a point that German bombers could conduct air raids over England. The U.S. was slow to develop its planes, but by the end of the Second World War, it had airplanes that could outfight and outfly anything the enemy had to offer. The history of the 20th century is one of men and women building, transporting, and flying planes on missions across the world. As so many parts of the world fell under the yoke of fascism and oppression, Great Britain and the U.S. shared the bulk of the burden of restoring liberty to large swaths of the world's population. It was an alliance born in 1917, and one that is as solid today as ever. It is central to the purpose of the American Air Museum, based at the Imperial War Museum, Duxford in Cambridgeshire, England, which is itself one of the great aviation museums in the world, to mark the importance of that alliance. But also to make sure that the memory of the nearly 30,000 U.S. Army Air Force personnel who lost their lives flying out of the UK in the Second World War, as well as that of the hundreds of thousands of U.S. construction, delivery, maintenance, and flying personnel separated from their families thousands of miles away for several years, is never forgotten. On display in the museum is an unrivaled collection of aircraft, ranging from a First World War SPAD biplane right up to present-day supersonic aircraft, encompassing on the way, among others, the veritable icons of modern aviation: the P-51 Mustang, the B-17 Flying Fortress, the F-4 Phantom, the A-10 Warthog, the F-15 Eagle, the B-52 Stratofortress, the U-2 Dragon Lady, and the SR-71 Blackbird. To this day, it holds the world speed record for any piloted airplane.
This is a building that's full of machines, but at its heart are the stories of quite often young men and young women whose lives were affected by their use. So when we tell the story of a crew of a B-17, what we're talking about is the lives of the pilot, the bombardier, the navigator, the gunners, all of the guys who were working together as close as a family to survive and to complete their mission. They would get up in the morning, head out to Germany, not knowing whether they'd come back. The chances of surviving a full tour of 25 missions was very slim. The chance of emerging unscathed, unwounded, was very slim. And yet they gladly did it time and time again. And it's to their memory that this building is dedicated. It's one of the few large structures on this site at Duxford that is itself a memorial. And it's very much a memorial to the nearly 30,000 young men from right across the United States that answered their country's call and unfortunately and tragically never made it back.
Supported by a wealth of human stories, the museum brings alive the sacrifice, the courage, the commitment, and the humanity that to this day defines the bond between the U.S. and the UK in the face of tyranny and terror. I am proud to be associated with this great endeavor. Remarkably, this all came about and is sustained by those who share the values of those brave men and women and want their memory to live on for generations to come. The American Air Museum welcomes your support. Thank you.